The boing yoinks.
What is up, guys? What is going on, guys?
Yo, we are back with a new Fallout video, episode 5, and our third segment of this show. I'm just gonna go out and say it. It's probably one of my favorite episodes of the whole series. This was a banger of an episode.
100%.
This is easily like a 8.5 for your boy.
Yeah, I feel like a lot happened for steps in the right direction. All the characters that were in it make me like them more. Lucy finally got, unaddicted, which is a good little progression for her. Fire.
True. Max, what'd you think?
I'd give it a little 8.5.
Okay. Yeah.
There,
Oh yeah.
It's one of the better ones.
And shocking, there's no brotherhood in this episode, and it's one of my favorites. Who would have thunk it?
It's just because the ghoul's in there for pretty much the
I'm
entire episode.
true. This is major 2018 LeBron level performance from Walton Goggins as the ghoul. Like it's just insane. I think going maybe 40% of this episode is just him in a flashback, and damn near I think the mystery of Vault-Tec and Robert House, honestly it might be the best part of the show at this point. And then the mystery with the vaults are pretty cool too, but I just think just going down to those flashbacks and just seeing the dynamic when he knows his wife is just making just the most horrific decisions. But yeah, and then what'd you guys think as major players of the games about a big showcasing on Robert House on how he was I know everything. What about this? I don't know. What about this? I don't know. But what do you guys think?
I mean, House has always been an interesting character because he's just been around pre-war, but he's not Gould, and he was just trying to extend his life so he could run the strip way after the bombs fall, and just to kind of see him pursue that pre-war, and then he's got the helmet on that he has in the chamber, and he's when he put it on, it reminded me of Professor X.
Fair with Cerebro.
Yeah, with Cerebro. I'm that's funny.
Yeah, real. Yeah, what'd you think about Robert House?
I like House. I mean, kind of at the start of this season, the house scenes were a little goofy, not to his how he's portrayed in the game, his his voice lines were his actions are not true.
A lot of the comments when we talked about the start of season 2 is just the house stuff seemed a little forced.
Yeah.
But do you feel he's thriving right now? This is where he should be.
Yeah. I think this is about right.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, just cannot go more about just the ghoul in this episode. This is gonna be ghoul glaze for me. I won't lie. It's just so ghoul focused, and I just think that there's so many elements of this show that really depend on him to pay through, and I mean I think he's cashing in every time. I do think we really get to see Lucy get some development too, which is really nice when she's just all coked up and trying to get out of this addiction, and then that goofy scene where I forgot what the person that he killed was, when he when that dude's in the barrel and he had the short super small I don't know whose clothes these are, that felt very goofy, but I don't know, is that warranted in the Fallout games? Is that something that would happen?
In the scenario they're in, where Vegas is super just jumbled, there's no actual guards, it looks and the actual strip is disheveled, it would kind of make sense, but because you would stumble across random NPCs who would be I don't know, man, and then you walk around a corner and there's just the guy that you were talking about.
Fair.
They're in Freeside too.
Yeah,
so
and they're in Freeside. There's a guy who's in the actual game, you follow somebody down an alleyway and he goes, yeah, now we're gonna jump you and rob you and take all your stuff, and 4 people show up behind you and just now you gotta fight them.
Yeah, there's aliens in Fallout, so anything can happen in the
Fallout
that's true.
realm.
Real? Yeah, speaking of like some crazy beings, we started the episode off with 4 Deathclaws, was it?
3?
Was it 3?
It was 3.
Yeah,
I think it
but
was 3.
then they kind of like used that as like a, "Ooh, you better come back next week," and then they were done. I mean, I don't know. Did you guys feel like it was too early to fight a Deathclaw in the story?
Yeah.
This is this like the, I guess, is I was about to make a Game of Thrones reference. Is like the Deathclaw like the dragon of this universe? Is there anything stronger than a Deathclaw?
Like
yeah.
Mirelurk Queens.
Yeah,
and
Mirelurk Queen.
Behemoths.
Yeah, and yeah. So
I mean, there's stuff that's stronger, but it is like a very like tough enemy
Fair.
in
Yes.
Fallout.
Would you say it's the most iconic like monster in Fallout?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
That
Yeah.
or a super mutant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but I mean, yeah, Deathclaw. Like the main thing that makes a Deathclaw scary is the fact that they're just so fast. They're fast and just like agile. Like super mutant behemoths are scary because they're like huge and the one you fight in Fallout 3 is just like ginormous and just it has like this bust that it hits you with and shit. And then Mirelurk Queens are scarier because they spawn a bunch of like hatchlings and shit. So, but those two are definitely stronger, but Deathclaws they're definitely scary and iconic in the series.
Yeah. As we're talking more and more to it, we do have like an outline, but I'm just remembering like fine details within the episode. This was also a big Norm episode, like of like the progression of that plot with the overseers. I know you were low key a Norm hater, and then I was like a Norm supporter. So like, did it sway you at all? Because I think just what we keep on getting like as like this overseer like Norm out of his element is, I think it's great.
Yeah, they didn't. I wasn't a big fan of like the storyline because I thought they were gonna go a different way with the story than what they did.
Yeah.
But then like I really like after like last week's episode or 2 weeks ago's episode, I thought about it and it was like, yeah, they're just gonna go to Vault-Tec like headquarters because they have all those people.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think about that after like the first episode.
Fair.
I thought they were just gonna go out there
And squat up on a Deathclaw.
Yeah, and just be
the
nerd,
power of friend. Yeah.
nerd power.
Yeah.
Like bullshit like that. But now it's like I see how they're gonna tie, especially now that
Barbara
Hank.
Howard. Well, Hank by extension. Yeah.
Hank got Lucy, so now it's like we'll see it coming together.
Yeah.
of, like,
And then when they name drop Barbara Howard too, I was like, oh, that yeah, that's good. I feel like there's so much build up now going into this finale, and it was so greatly needed because I felt like episodes like 3 and 4, although like set up with the Brotherhood and building a little bit of that bond with the Ghoul and Lucy with the ending of this episode. I just felt like we're kind of like at like a lull of like a mid to good, but like now we're back to like great. Like, I mean, although I think the start and like progression of season 1 was more steady and consistent, like I think we're just gonna get right down to like a more grandiose, almost better version of the season 1 finale.
I think that's not crazy to say. I think it's definitely starting to like snowball, and I feel like it's only going to pick up pace.
Yeah, and it needs to. I mean,
yeah, like they have 3 more episodes.
Yep.
And I feel like it's just going to gain more and more traction. And I feel like it's going to be like everything is going to have a good payoff. I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like everything's going to culminate well.
Yeah, that witch doctor was back in business now.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really enjoyed his character. I think he's pretty fun to watch on screen, and it's funny to see his relationship with Hank. And it was really cool how they filmed the shot where like he's experimenting on him. The fake out, like I thought that was really good. I was like, I have a feeling they're gonna fake it out, but I'm like, I respect it. You just got to keep the audience honest sometimes.
Yeah. They did make the Fisto reference. I called it. The robot he's talking to is like abbreviated. Like the first letter of all the 5 words spells out Fisto.
Yeah.
That's Max's goat.
That's the goat. That's real. That's real Fallout New Vegas ties, man. That's real ties.
Real?
They care.
Yeah.
This shit means something to me.
That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think, is there anything you guys want to bring up before we talk about like the Hank and Lucy reunion and like the final like decision for the Ghoul to like sell Lucy out like on paper?
No, not really coming to mind at the moment. But with the Hank and Lucy reunion, it's definitely that fits Hank. I feel like that fits Hank. He's showing up when it's like everything's already happened, and he's just kind of like
on his Palpatine type shit.
Yeah, he's just walking and he goes, "It's just as I expected."
Yeah. It was cool to see like, just Lucy hit the Ghoul with like that mega punch like after she fought off like the drug to like not be unconscious. But I did think that there was enough time and enough of a bond between Lucy and the Ghoul to where like you cared about the Ghoul's decision, because you do actually care about both characters, and I really think that's what they needed to do and what they did do. I mean, it did weigh on me, and I was thinking like, is he gonna be like, yeah, you can have her, and then like hit like a Ghoul like one liner and then kill like the witch doctor. I don't really even know his name, but like, or like come back to beat up Hank or something. But as far as this episode goes, they stayed true to it, and I applaud them for that.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely feel like the Ghoul. I don't know if he was completely sold on his decision, because he was definitely it definitely weighed on him, because he kept mentioning that he sees himself in Lucy, and I feel like he's definitely feeling like it's almost like he's sort of betraying himself in a sense. But you can really like see. I think Walter Goggins is such a good actor for the way he's portraying it, and it's my
he's
goodness,
just so good. And just when you use the flashback too of like when he's like basically when he's Cooper and he's having that panic attack, he's like, I just need a drink.
Oh yeah, he's just taking
and then like
everywhere.
it's just literally just a parallel of like him just kind of like going against his morals. Which was his decision like in the flashback? Like was that like announced on what happened? Because like he's like, well, it's an unknown factor of what actually sets the bombs off. Like when he's like, well, my wife is trying to drop the bombs, and like if you give her like cold fusion, like they're gonna do it. But he's like, well, I don't know if that's the case. It's an unknown factor. Now people are saying it's like a separate entity of like mind control beings. Like I don't know. It's like the theories are going wild, but I just didn't know if there was any like in-game reason that like gave a conclusion of what like Cooper said. I know he's not like a game character, but like I didn't know if he was playing as someone, like the role of someone in the games.
No, because in the games it's never even specifically mentioned.
Okay.
Who drops the bombs?
Fair.
There's always been like talks and conspiracies about who's done it. I think in game maybe there's been mention of like it was the Chinese first, but then like you read something that may have alluded to America throwing the first nuke. So it's just whoever threw the first stone, but we never actually figure out who throws it.
Yeah, that'd be cool to.
And I feel like they're kind of playing into that in the show, because
they definitely did.
You think Voltek's gonna do it,
Yeah.
and then they mention that House will drop the bombs, and then House is like, I'm not gonna do it. So who do you think will do it? And he's like, my wife. He goes, who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. Anything to add on that?
Just like back to like the Lucy like decision part. I think it's good acting on Walton Goggins, like the whole like scene with the flashback and whatnot, and like cutting to him at like the Wrangler like drinking.
Yeah.
And he's just thinking back to that day. And you can just see how like just that conversation with House like is still affecting him.
Yeah.
Like even so many 200, 300 years later after that. And he's still thinking about that, and how House was like, I know what type of man you are. You're a killer and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that like plays into his like decision with Lucy.
And there's actually some decent build up to that as well, because my roommate was watching episode 3, and it was the ghoul's conversation with Victor, and Victor's like, man, you could have been the one that killed House if I remember right. And it's like, and that just like that little build up through those episodes, like, just really amounts to like that snowball of pressure that he puts on himself for that decision he made, and it's just pretty fantastic. Say that again.
I also like the mention of the dates that House starts talking about. He's like, basically his cerebro is like, yeah, the bombs are gonna drop whenever 2065, and I'm like, that's not when they drop. And then Walton Goggins is like, that's the date of my daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
and then he's like, you made these decisions and it jumped forward a month, and then this happened and it changed, and I'm like, okay, so I wonder what kind of like super analytical process it's going through. And obviously it drops, what is it, October 23rd, 2077?
2077.
Yeah. So, but that's pretty great. And then when he first goes to meet House and you see Victor there, and it's like, so that means the ghoul knew that Victor was a part of House, which is good. That's good to be mentioned.
Yeah.
Without actually being like stated in the show.
Yeah.
I saw a theory where someone was like, the ghoul is the courier, and I'm like, I don't know, man.
Wrong.
I'm like, I don't know, man. It can't be it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm all out of yap for this episode. I don't know if you guys are or not. But any crazy theories you want to drop this time? Anything you want to say that would piss off the branches of our government or anything like that?
Government? You mean the military?
Well, I mean, yeah.
I didn't serve, so I can't talk about that.
Well, yeah, we can't talk about Fallout. We didn't serve.
We can't talk about the Brotherhood.
But yeah, I think that's what's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all for all the love for the Fallout videos. They've been pretty fun, so